Hello everybody, my name is Ian Goldsmith and this is the first time I'll be making an Unreal tutorial. So please forgive me if anything's stupid or my sound is jacked or if anything comes off as unprofessional. This is my first time and I really don't know exactly what it is I should be doing, but I had trouble finding any resources in making a networked top-down controller for multiplayer with top-down controls. There are some resources that I was able to find, but they weren't very good. So I've taken it upon myself to figure this all out, get something working. It's not 100%, so if you do know of a better way or if you have improvements to what I will be showing you, please leave them in the comments. That'll help me out and anybody else who might be watching these videos, and that would be much appreciated. So basically what we're going for, or what I'm attempting to walk us through with this tutorial, is making a top-down controller that is shared over the net. Well, not shared, but is created for each individual client that joins a game that is multiplayer, either through LAN or online, that replicates its movement, direction, and all that jazz. So we got the server up here who can move, and he can animates his movement, changes his direction. Client side moves, animates, changes his direction, and both movement and animations are replicated between both the server and the client. You can run this as a dedicated server and it'll do the same thing for all of the clients. And to explain more on what you're looking at, the brown box is the client-side pawn, and you can set that to be invisible, not visible in game, all that stuff. I have it visible just so through this tutorial you can see that there is the client-side pawn, which is visible and doesn't need any animations or anything like that, because it would be set to invisible when you actually go to build the game. But the server-side character is the UE4 mannequin and is what animates and moves and would be your actual in-game character for each player. So that is why both are visible for each individual, to help get across the idea that we are making two characters, one which is going to be just the camera that tracks and follows and shows the player who's sitting in front of a monitor what it is that his character is doing, where his character is largely controlled by or from the server, receiving all of the information that the character is sending to it from his client-side controller to the server-side controller to the server-side character. And that's more or less the workflow we're going through. So in more detail, what we'll be doing is creating the client-side controller that does everything and then sends all of the information to the respective client-side pawn, server-side controller, server-side character, and shares information through the player state. I'm only going to be making the game mode to set the default values for the default pawn, default controller, and default player state. This isn't necessary for the tutorial, or is only necessary for the tutorial. So if you're trying to apply this to your own projects, just know that you need to change or add any of your additional stuff to the client-side controller, client-side pawn, or server-side controller, and server-side character, depending on what it is. Like custom cameras would go on the client-side pawn, and then custom models and animations and attacks and all that would go on the server-side character, and the client-side controller would be the one that calls all of those functions and whatnot. So I'll be making another video that goes through project creation for making all of these controllers, pawns, game mode, and play state. And then my last video will be going through step by step how to make everything in the client-side controller, because it is the workhorse and it has everything in it that is needed and will take up the most time, and I want to keep these videos kind of short. So that's what we're going to be doing, so I'll see you in the next video.